Chapter 1. Leaving Norland. The Dashwood women had always expected Norland Park to remain their home. But when Mr. Dashwood died, the estate passed to John Dashwood, his son from an earlier marriage. Before dying, Mr. Dashwood asked John to protect his stepmother and 3 half-sisters. John intended to help them generously. His wife Fanny slowly reduced his idea of generosity. She reminded him of his own expenses, his son's future, and every small advantage the women still possessed. By the end of the conversation, John had persuaded himself that occasional kindness was more suitable than financial support. Mrs. Dashwood, Elinor, Marianne, and young Margaret therefore faced a sharp decline in income. Elinor, the eldest, understood the figures and tried to plan calmly. Marianne felt the injustice with her whole heart. She could not understand how affection could survive such selfish behavior. A distant relative, Sir John Middleton, offered them Barton Cottage in Devonshire at an affordable rent. The house was smaller than Norland, but Mrs. Dashwood accepted. The move separated the women from wealth and comfort, yet it also began the education that each sister needed. Chapter 2. Elinor and Edward. Before the Dashwoods left Norland, Elinor became close to Edward Ferrars, Fanny's quiet and thoughtful brother. Edward did not seek fame or fashionable success. He preferred a useful private life, which Elinor respected. Their affection grew through conversation rather than display. Mrs. Dashwood believed they would marry. Elinor hoped so, but she noticed that Edward never clearly declared his intentions. She also knew that his mother controlled the family fortune and expected him to choose a richer, more socially ambitious wife. At Barton Cottage, the Dashwoods were welcomed by Sir John, Lady Middleton, and Mrs. Jennings. Their new neighbors were generous but curious. Mrs. Jennings enjoyed guessing who loved whom, often turning private feelings into public jokes. Elinor learned to protect her emotions without becoming cold. Colonel Brandon, a serious man in his mid-30s, was drawn to Marianne's intelligence and musical talent. Marianne thought him far too old for romance. She believed genuine feeling must be immediate, dramatic, and impossible to hide. Elinor saw more value in his steady attention, though she did not try to direct her sister's heart. Chapter 3. Marianne and Willoughby. One wet afternoon, Marianne injured her ankle while running down a hill. A young gentleman named John Willoughby carried her safely home. He was handsome, confident, and interested in everything Marianne valued: music, poetry, beauty, and strong feeling. They quickly became inseparable. Willoughby visited often, read with Marianne, and encouraged her dislike of social restraint. Their behavior made an engagement seem certain, although neither announced one. Mrs. Dashwood trusted their emotions. Elinor worried about their lack of openness. Colonel Brandon remained courteous, even when Marianne and Willoughby made unkind jokes about his seriousness. Then, just when everyone expected a proposal, Willoughby announced that he had to leave Devonshire. He offered no clear explanation and gave Marianne no promise. Marianne was devastated. She refused to hide her grief and treated ordinary company as a burden. Elinor comforted her, but also questioned Willoughby's conduct. Strong feeling, she believed, did not remove the need for clarity or responsibility. Marianne considered such caution almost disloyal to love. Chapter 4. Lucy's Secret. 2 young women, Lucy and Anne Steele, came to stay with the Middletons. Lucy soon sought Elinor's confidence. She revealed that she had been secretly engaged to Edward Ferrars for 4 years. She showed Elinor letters and other proof, leaving no room for doubt. Elinor's private hopes collapsed. but she could not openly grieve. Lucy had told her the secret partly to establish her claim on Edward. Elinor understood that any visible reaction would expose her own feelings and might damage Edward's reputation. She began to reinterpret Edward's behavior. His sadness and uncertainty now appeared connected to an early promise he regretted but felt morally bound to keep. Elinor did not excuse his violence, yet she recognized the conflict between personal happiness and duty. Marianne knew nothing of this pain. She continued to believe that Elinor's calmness proved her feelings were mild. In reality, Elinor was protecting several people at once. Her silence was not emptiness. It was difficult, active discipline. Chapter 5. Disappointment in London. Mrs. Jennings invited Elinor and Marianne to London. Marianne agreed because she expected to find Willoughby there. She wrote to him repeatedly, but he did not answer. At a crowded evening party, she finally saw him. He greeted her with distant politeness and avoided private conversation. The next day, Marianne received a cold letter returning everything she had given him. She then learned that he was engaged to Miss Grey, a woman with a large fortune. Marianne's certainty broke apart. She had treated emotional intensity as proof of lasting character. Colonel Brandon later told Elinor that Willoughby had previously behaved dishonorably toward another young woman and refused responsibility for the harm he caused. This history showed that this treatment of Marianne was not one isolated mistake. Elinor stayed beside her sister without saying "I warned you." She allowed Marianne to grieve while quietly correcting Mrs. Jennings' carelessness. Chapter 6. Edward chooses honor. Lucy and Edward's secret engagement was eventually discovered. Edward's mother demanded that he end it. When he refused to break his promise, she removed him from her favor and transferred the expected inheritance to his younger brother Robert. Edward's decision did not make the engagement wise. It showed, however, that he would not purchase comfort by betraying his word. Elinor admired his integrity even while believing that his youthful promise had created unnecessary suffering. Colonel Brandon heard what had happened and offered Edward a modest church position at Delaford. Since Brandon barely knew him, the offer was an act of pure generosity. Elinor had to deliver the news to Edward. Their meeting was painful but honest. Marianne finally learned the truth about Lucy. She was shocked that Elinor had suffered for months without making the household serve her sorrow. For the first time, Marianne understood that deep feeling could exist beside restraint. Elinor's calmness had not meant a smaller heart. Chapter 7. Illness and Explanation. On a journey home, the sisters stayed at Cleveland, the country house of Mrs. Jennings' relatives. Marianne walked outside in cold, wet weather and became seriously ill. Her illness was physical, but months of emotional exhaustion had left her weak. Elinor cared for her through several frightening days. Colonel Brandon traveled quickly to bring Mrs. Dashwood. His practical service expressed more than dramatic language could have done. Marianne slowly recovered. Willoughby arrived unexpectedly and asked Elinor to hear his explanation. He admitted that he had cared for Marianne but had chosen financial security by marrying Miss Grey. He wanted Elinor to understand his regret. Elinor listened fairly, yet she did not confuse regret with innocence. Feeling sorry after causing harm did not erase responsibility. When Marianne was stronger, Elinor told her enough to replace hatred with a more balanced judgment. Marianne also examined her own behavior. She recognized that grief had made her neglect her health, her family, and the quiet suffering of others. Recovery became not merely a return to strength, but the beginning of self-knowledge. Chapter 8. Balance and New Beginnings. Soon the family received surprising news. Lucy had not married Edward. After meeting Robert Ferrars, she transferred her attention to the brother who now possessed a fortune. Lucy and Robert married, leaving Edward free. Edward came to Barton Cottage and told Elinor the truth. The moment she understood that he was no longer engaged, her long control finally gave way to open emotion. Edward asked her to marry him, and she accepted. With a position at Delaford and family relationships slowly repaired, they could build a modest but independent life. Marianne did not instantly fall in love with Colonel Brandon. Her respect grew through knowledge. She observed his generosity, loyalty, and patience, and her youthful idea of romance became broader. In time, affection and trust developed into a lasting partnership. The sisters remained different. Elinor did not become unemotional, and Marianne did not lose imagination or warmth. Instead, each gained balance. Elinor allowed feeling to be seen. Marianne learned that feeling needs judgment. Austen's conclusion does not defeat sensibility with sense. It brings them into conversation.